This is my camera. Let me know when you're ready.
This is mine.
2,
Call me.
1.
Good evening, guys. Dr. Triggs here. Welcome to Triggs Table Talk. I have no other but the infamous, my right-hand woman, the queen of Vixen Plastic Surgery, my right-hand man, left-hand man, personal assistant, everything. Amber Ortega. Thank you, Amber,
Oleaga.
What?
This is a going problem with us too.
What is it? Oleaga?
Ongoing problem.
No, how do you say it?
Oleaga. This is
We got Amber here. Amber, welcome to Triggs Table Talk.
Thank you. Hello.
She's
Hi,
here
guys.
against her will because she didn't really want to do this, but
I was forced.
she was forced.
But hello.
But
I'm happy to be here.
she's not getting paid extra for this at
No,
all.
I'm not.
No.
Not even crab legs.
Or overtime.
Nothing.
Nothing. No, we're not doing anything. But anyway,
Anyways,
welcome.
hi.
So for people that don't know, this is my lead coordinator / personal assistant. Everything goes through Amber. I don't like to talk to people. I'm very
Triggs.
introverted.
Triggs can get very overstimulated, and so he just likes to delegate everything to me.
Pretty much. So, that's just a little bit of behind the story. Like this is the queen bee right here. But anyway, welcome, Amber. Thank you for being here against your will. I guess like the first thing I'm supposed to ask you, like, how would you consider our dynamic? How would you describe our like relationship?
Okay, so I would say that our relationship is honestly kind of like a best friendship. It's definitely not your typical medical office at all. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're both here in Miami, and this is not our hometown, so we definitely are both getting accustomed to like the cultural norms within the city that we're living in now. But it was definitely easy kind of working together since we're just both very, I would say, lax. Like, we're both very lax individuals. We don't take anything, like, too seriously with each other. I understand Triggs has his overstimulated days. Triggs knows I have my attitude days, and we just work well together.
Even when we both have attitudes at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
We make it happen. We just leave each other alone, and then we come together like, here's your coffee.
Fine.
And walks away. Yeah, and it works out.
Definitely.
So what are some of the like top five things that you can remember like since you've been working with me? Because I think you've been lead coordinator like, what, a year now? A little bit over a year?
Yeah, a little over a year,
yeah.
Okay. Top 5 things I can remember?
Yeah, like funny things weird things.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
It's like every day. It's like a reality show.
Well, I'll just say a couple of interesting things that I've taken part in ever since I started working here. Number 1, being part of a music video. First of all, I remember when I was in Triggs' office and he showed me this video. He's like, oh, a patient emailed me a song that she made. Let's listen to it. So I'm like, okay. And so he plays the song and I'm like, Triggs, this could be in the strip clubs. Like, this song is a vibe. And so, yeah, that was very interesting. Then it became a whole production.
Yeah.
Another thing, let me see, number 2. Well, we have this little thing where Triggs has a problem with his schedule constantly. And so one time Triggs came into our office and he's like, hey, I have this Friday off. And I'm like, no, you don't. And then he's like, yeah, I asked you for it off on this day. I'm like, prove it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to find it. And when I find it, you're going to take me to dinner. I'm like, okay. And when you don't find it, you have to take all your coordinators out to dinner. And so he was scrolling 40 minutes, 50 minutes in my office, stressed.
It wasn't my finest moment.
And just know we went to Gecko the week after that.
It was a lot of money spent.
Okay.
For an innocent mistake.
Number 3. What's another interesting thing? Oh, okay. So Triggs made actually a very big mistake in his schedule where I don't know if anybody knows, but Triggs has twins, 2 very cute twins, Wesley and Wilton. And he has every other Friday with them for the patients. Just so you can keep that in mind. Every other Friday, Triggs is not here. And he gave me all the switched days off. So let's say all the Fridays he was supposed to work, he was off. And all the Fridays he was off, he was supposed to work. So, of course, me, rescheduling all the patients. I'm like, Triggs, this is a big mess up right here. It's gonna cost you. And so the coordinators and we all got free filler.
That was not cheap either.
No, it was not.
For an innocent mistake.
It's a great place to work, guys. I promise. It's really a great place to work. And then number 5, let me see. So Triggs is always, since I told you guys, he gets very overstimulated. He doesn't like to always be like constantly asked questions and pulled in 100 different directions. So instead of me constantly writing him to see like where he is or if he landed from his flight or if he's coming back from home to see the patients for pre-op, I made him share his location with me.
Still cringy. Still cringy. You're
He's
one
like,
of 2
Amber,
people.
He's like, Amber, what are my girlfriends gonna think? And I'm like, listen, our relationship is between us. They have to understand that this is just our work dynamic.
Oh my God. One of 2 people. One of 2 people to have my location.
Who's the other person?
And that's my cousin.
Oh, your cousin.
Shar. Yeah, I hate it. I don't like feeling tracked. I feel cringe right now.
Listen.
I'm going to delete it as soon as we get off this podcast.
I doubt it.
How would you describe your favorite patients?
Okay, so my favorite
Y'all better
patients-
listen to this because this will get you fast-tracked and booked really quick.
Yes. So my favorite patients are definitely ones that are kind of like Lily. So Lily, from the very beginning, I feel like she signed up. She waited for us to give her welcome call, which usually happens within 24 to 48 hours. You guys have to consider we don't work on the weekends. So that means if you booked on a Friday, your 24 to 48 hour will land on like a Tuesday. So they wait for us to give them a call for their welcome calls. They receive their documents from us and they read them entirely. I can't tell you how many patients they'll receive documents from us and then we'll give them a call and like, hey, reminder, you can't take any birth control, you can't take any Adderall, things like that. And they'll be like, oh, girl, I didn't read any of that, to be honest with you. And I'm like, you have to prepare for your surgery properly. No, please read everything we send you. It's so vital for your procedure. Another thing is when patients get their blood work done and they send it all in like at the same time. So we send a lab order, and on that lab order has everything you need done for your surgery. So if you complete everything checked off on your lab order and send it to us, you will be responded to immediately and cleared for your surgery. So, and ultimately, that's what we want for you. We want you to not run into headaches and have to be going back and forth with your doctor's office, and just get your stuff done and sent in as soon as you can so we can have you fly here stress-free.
Perfect. Definitely take heed to that. We're both from different cities. You said that. I'm from Alabama, or, Huntsville, Alabama, and you're from New York, supposedly. I don't know. You might be from like upstate or something. How was your transition to Miami? And how long you been down here?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, so at the same time I've been down here. So how was your transition?
Wow. Honestly, it was a very swift transition just because when I decided to move here, I was so over like the cold weather in New York, and I just wanted a change of scenery. So when I moved here, I think the first thing I did was started in sales, and that was very interesting just because I started the job here and I saw how it was not like New York, where in New York we're very fast paced and we're very we're always on doing something new. Like you don't have a moment where you're just relaxing. You're just kind of locked in and focused on your goals. Here everybody is just kind of like, oh yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. And 1 hour lunch breaks and going to the beach after work. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is different. But it was honestly like a breath of fresh air. It was interesting and easy to adapt to. How about you?
That's a very good question. I don't know. For me, it was just like I came down here for work. So it was like mostly once I got set up in my condo, which took forever, it was just like just going to work. Like going out, I think didn't happen till like I'd already been here like a month because I was still like flying back and forth, seeing the twins. And then when I wasn't working, I was like sleeping. So I don't know. I don't think I really felt like, oh, I had moved to Miami until like 3 or 4 months later. Like I
I still don't feel like you live in Miami.
I live in the air pretty much.
He literally is always flying every other weekend. Like, it's insane. I think he lives at the airport and is here part-time.
I know all the like little tips and tricks to get through real quick too. It just works out like that. But no, I'm tired. This is my first weekend in Miami this year. So
yeah, I know.
Super excited. All right, so now, Amber, it's time for some tricky Triggs trivia. Triple T time. So, what are the most common reasons for cancellations?
Okay, so low hemoglobin, which means that your blood cell count is low. Usually you can fix this by taking iron supplements, which I recommend you start taking like a month before your surgery, just to get your hemoglobin up there before you even come and not run into an issue when you find out about it. Another thing is BMI. So Dr. Triggs' max BMI is 37, and a lot of cases we'll see that a patient will disclose like their weight and height, and it'll be off. Yeah. And then they'll come to their pre-op and they'll be over the BMI, and we unfortunately have to cancel them. So it's just best that you're honest with us from the beginning, so that way we can set out a realistic expectation date for you to lose the weight and come here and be successful with having your surgery. One more thing why patients would get canceled would be blood clots. So it doesn't matter if it was 15 years ago. It doesn't matter if it was last week. It doesn't matter. It's just best that you disclose absolutely everything as far as your health and your health history, so that way you can have a realistic idea on if you are able to safely move forward with the procedure or not. Because one thing about Dr. Triggs, not only Dr. Triggs but me, we do not play with anybody's health, because we are both lunatics a little bit, in the sense that we will not take any risks with anybody's health. We like to sleep. We like to feel like somebody's going to go into that procedure and they're going to come out of the procedure and they're going to be able to enjoy their body and be with their family and never be the reason for anything else happening. Right. So the more honest and the more truthful the patients are with their health history and everything, then we can just let you know in advance if you definitely are a good candidate or not.
Yeah, and we could make other recommendations too. Even if you don't have surgery with me, I have no problem with referring you or what to look for or who to talk to try to make those body expectations happen. So it's nothing against you. It's just I cannot put anybody's health at risk. Not for nothing like this. All right, so you should probably know this one really well. What makes me the most upset?
There's a lot of things.
I don't get upset that much.
Yeah, you're right. Let me see. When things are behind or running.
Yeah. I'm all about efficiency.
Yeah.
If I step through the door, that means things need to be ready. We got to roll.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Let me see. What else gets you upset? Is that?
I would say that's number one.
That is it, right?
Yeah, I hate inefficiency. Like,
other
things got to roll.
He's pretty chill, guys. I think I'm the more crazy one.
Right. Definitely. Dang, but yeah, man, inefficiency, that drives me crazy. Like, patients running late or something's not set up right.
There are cases where people are like an hour and 15 minutes late to their procedure. How? I just don't get it. Like, genuinely, how and why? I think that I would be so anxious as a patient to be running to my surgery. Right. I could never, like, wake up late and you don't have to do your hair. Like, you don't have to do anything but put a robe on.
I overslept. You overslept for surgery? Like, you spent all this money, you flew to Miami?
Oh my God, I have a funny story about this. One time, Triggs, not liking the whole inefficiency thing and things running behind. So he had a patient that was supposed to be, like, paying for her procedure, right? And he's like, where's the patient? Like, he's ready to get the procedure started. And I'm like, you know what? It's been a while and she's still in the building. Like, let me see what happened. I go over to talk to her. She's manifesting the money, okay, guys? She had been manifesting the money, like, flew here, did her labs, did everything, and still said she didn't have the money yet, but that she was working on manifesting and she knew that it was going to happen at some point. She just didn't know when. And so she even stood the weekend in Miami waiting until Monday, and she did manifest the money, guys. She did, but do not have Triggs waiting for you if you're still manifesting money, please.
I should have just canceled it and be like, we're done here. Oh, man.
And he's like, you gotta be kidding me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
These are
I'm
real.
serious.
These are real things that happen. Like it should be a reality show. Vixen should be a reality show.
Yeah, we
for
say
sure.
this all the time. We need a TV show because the things that we bump into are just insane.
What are 3 things that someone should have on surgery? Or 3 things I must have on surgery day, which is every day.
Your iPad,
Facts.
your coffee.
It's not a good day until I get that coffee in me. At least 3 or 4 cups.
Definitely. And would it be a second device? Let's see what else.
Oh yeah, you remember that? You remember earlier this week?
Yeah.
I forgot my work bag.
Yeah,
and
he
I didn't even
forgot
need it.
Your laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the 3 things?
Yeah, laptop,
Wow.
iPad,
Oh
and
yeah,
coffee.
we had an interesting discovery with Triggs the other day, but I'm not gonna disclose that on here.
Just we made a breakthrough. You know, I may be part of the spectrum.
I think Triggs is on the spectrum.
All right, Amber. So now we're about to dive into your personal life, some personal questions. Hopefully, you know, the big dub is not going to be mad.
Big dog.
I ain't trying to call him out. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you balance your work with your private life? Because you're always here. You're always working.
Yeah.
And you're always on Instagram. You're always working out. Well, I don't know.
That's a
she's
stretch.
she's a fitness girly.
Fake
Fitness girly.
but
But anyway,
really.
what do you do in your spare time? Like, how do you make it happen?
Okay, so honestly,
And in school too, right?
I was,
Okay.
but I'm not. Okay, so as far as my personal life, I definitely try to get all my work done during work and then just leave like minimal little tasks that I need to handle for. I try not to do anything on Saturday. Saturday is just me day. But then Sundays, I definitely do get back into like pre-work mode where I'm like, okay, let me make sure everything is all set for Monday. Triggs knows sometimes I will set an alarm for 5 a.m. and send him labs that he needs for the next morning that we're waiting on for certain patients and things like that. So it's definitely a round-the-clock job. The good thing is that me and my boyfriend, we both kind of have jobs that are similar. So we understand if one person is home, but then we have to respond to something at 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. or whatever hour it is, like between us, we understand like work comes first and we still make time to play and have fun after. So I feel like work has just been integrated into my life and it's just kind of smooth.
Or those
at this
Sunday
point.
evenings where I'm like, I might be late tomorrow. I missed my flight, or my flight got canceled, or
Yeah.
That happens pretty routinely too. So yeah, tell the patients I'm sorry. I'm struggling out here. So
Yeah. They'll understand.
those little things. Or Amber, I need you to run to my condo. I need you to mail me this.
Guys, I have gone to Triggs' condo on the weekend on a Saturday, like, hey, Amber, what you doing today? Oh, nothing. Oh, yeah, because I have this game I need to go to on Monday, and this sweater in my closet would be looking real nice for that. I'm like, what are you trying to say? You need me to go get the sweater for you, Triggs? And he's like, I mean, if you're not doing nothing, if you could just stop by and mail it to me to California. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go, Triggs. Don't worry. So I'm definitely always on the
didn't
run.
get to wear it.
You didn't?
No, because
We overnighted it.
Yeah, they tried to deliver it to my friend's house, and they were trying to say no one was home, so they didn't take it back to the UPS center. So we spent all that money to overnight it, and then to
Jokes.
buy it, and then I still didn't get to it. I just got it like last week.
This is why you are our plastic surgeon, princess.
Yeah, but
So, for all my patients out there, you have been heard. And I will ask Triggs the $1 million questions that you all want to know. So, Triggs, what is your relationship status? Are you single? Are you married? What is happening?
I am technically single.
He can't even give a straight answer for this. What is going on?
I'm a politician at heart.
Okay, so ladies, Triggs is single. It's a running joke right now that I want to create a little dating segment where the coordinators, like all of us, Triggs coordination team, we interview Triggs' possible future wife. So if you want to apply, send me a DM. Okay.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
The next question.
But I'm done with being outside. I'm trying to be at home.
Do y'all believe him?
Out of the streets.
Comment below.
I'm wrapping this thing up. Man.
Rapping what?
This outsideness, this single dadness, you know. I'm
He's lying, guys.
Trying to be like, stable and boring. I'm a boring guy.
Okay. Anyways, the next question is, what is your type?
I don't have no type. Cue race murder. I don't have a type. I ain't got no type. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know exactly.
Okay. Because the girls want to know. The patients are always asking, like, you think Dr. Triggs would like a girl like me?
No, I don't have a type. I don't think I have a type.
Okay. Number 3. What was the third one?
This right here, guys, is the reason why you tune into this podcast, because I don't ever talk about my personal life. Like, I've been on multiple podcasts. I've been on multiple like little interviews and little stuff like this. Only on Triggs Table Talk am I going to talk about my personal life. Everywhere you can't get it nowhere else. These are exclusives.
Oh, what is the craziest thing that has happened to you with a patient? Oh my God, I have a funny story.
I don't know. I don't think it's like really crazy, but it made me like super uncomfortable. I just finished marking the patient, and she like gave me a hug, but she was like almost naked, and it was super cringy.
Okay, you clearly don't remember this story, because there was one time I was this is actually why Triggs needs a chaperone when going into the room to mark patients. This patient was the reason why. So I go into the room with him. He's marking up the patient. She's doing like a breast lift and lipo 360, something like that. And imagine she's just in her bra and underwear. No, she has no bra at this point. No bra, no underwear. And she's just getting closer and closer and closer to Triggs. Like, she literally almost tried to put her entire boob in his mouth. And I didn't even know what to do in that moment. Like, I was so shocked. And then she was like kind of like trying to twerk on his leg. There was a lot going on in that moment. And you just see Triggs. He has a sliding chair. He's just like sliding back. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think I have PTSD from that. I remember that.
Yeah, so Triggs can't go in the room without a chaperone anymore because of that story.
Oh man, that was rough.
Let me see what else. Oh, Lily is a whole nother case. We have a patient that I don't even know what to say about her. Never mind. I'm gonna keep that up. We can edit that out. There's so many times that we have patients coming in there and they're just like so goo goo gaga over Triggs. It's really bad. It's to the point where we cannot have FaceTime consultations or phone consultations because they literally will pay the deposit and they don't want to get surgery. They just want to talk to him. And it's just like, girl.
And then they get mad because like, he's very bland. I'm like, well, I'm in professional mode. Like,
yeah, that is definitely something I've heard about. The patients have said too, where they're like, oh, I didn't get like what I was expecting out of my conversation with Triggs. And I'm like, at the end of the day, he is a doctor. And like when he sees you, like he can be all like personable and fun and everything, like on like for videos and like his friends and things like that. But he has to treat you like a patient in the room with him. Like I've seen patients ask him like, do you think I should get a BBL or do you think I should do this? And he's always very like, it's up to you what you want to do with your body. I can just tell you like what your expectations should be, but he's never gonna be there like dictating what procedure you should get done or anything like that. He's very uncomfortable with things like that.
Yeah, I don't play that, but yeah, I think they were like, oh, like, you know, we're gonna be like hanging out. Like, man, I'm at work. Like, this is work mode. All this information like I have to give to you, I need to make sure that you understand. So, you know, in a week from now, you're not trying to blast me or something like that. So, you know, I got to come in there kind of straight face. And I don't mind like joking around a little bit, but I got to make sure that like I'm professional, you're understanding all the information I'm giving you, and that, you know, we're good to go from that standpoint. So,
would you ever date a patient?
No, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be. I mean, 'cause I don't know. I just feel like it's frowned upon. I think it's illegal until a certain point, like a certain time,
like years or something
like that. Or I don't know, but yeah, I just don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be seen like that, you know. Because I already got like knocks against me, so I don't want to add any weirdness to that. So
one thing I want to clarify before the episode is over. Patients are always asking if you're board certified. So can you kind of like break down the difference between board certification and board eligibility?
Yeah, so I'm board eligible at this point, meaning that I have completed my residency and I have passed the written exam. And so to be able to sit for the last part, which is the oral exam, I have to submit to the American Board of Plastic Surgery at minimum 50 surgeries, and they have to deem that those surgeries are complex enough to be able to sit for the board. So to even sit for the test. And so if they say, oh yeah, you have enough cases, they're going to choose 7 of those cases, of my own cases, to test me on. And basically they're looking to see if I'm safe. They look at the pictures, they look at the anesthesia records, they look at the certification of the surgery center, all that small. They look to see who referred me from another plastic surgeon. And so it's not really, they don't look at aesthetics. They look to make sure that you're doing stuff like up to code and up to par. And it's not, I mean, even the anesthesia record. So if they see like, oh, someone's blood pressure dropped at this point, they're going to ask me like, so what happened at 10:45 a.m. on this case? I see the blood pressure dropped here. What did you do? How did you communicate with anesthesia? Things like that. If I'm missing pictures, then they're going to add 3 more cases on for me to be tested on top of 7 unknown cases where I'll walk in and they'll put a picture up and they'll be like, describe what you see, what's the procedure, how would you consent them, what if this happens? And they usually choose surgeries that you've had a complication with, because you have to put, if this surgery had a complication, they usually always pick your complications to see your thought process and how you work through it. And so, it's 2 days in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, at this resort, and then you find out, I think, a month later, if you passed or not, and then that's when you're technically board certified. So, and it's mostly reconstructive stuff. Like they're not. I mean, I don't think there's been a case where they test you like on a BBL. They might test you on like a liposuction or something like that. And the other thing with that, like the real difference, like we can't sit for the oral boards until like 2 years after you've been in practice. So now I've been out of residency for 2 years, I can sit for it. But I also have to make sure I have enough cases. They'll be like, oh, you've done enough good cases, you can sit for it.
I feel like mainly like things that we've talked about, the reason why he hasn't gone for the board certification is, one, as you guys can see, his life is just super hectic. And so he genuinely just hasn't found the time to like sit down and like schedule for it and just get all of the cases together that they want.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
What I think there is a little bit of a misconception where people think that you're not supposed to be doing surgery because you're not board certified, and that's absolutely not the case.
You have to be able to operate to even be able to sit for the board.
Yeah.
I think anesthesia is similar that way too. They have to, but they don't have to submit their own cases. They just have to been in practice for 2 years to be able to sit. From a medical legal standpoint, I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon. Like,
right, you went to school, you got your degree.
Yeah, I have my license, my medical license. Yeah, I got your degree. Yeah, I have my medical license. That like I'm good. Like I can do whatever. It's just a stamp basically to say like, okay, this guy has passed like all the rigors from the American Board of Plastic Surgery. Like I can do any surgery I want to. I've done just about every surgery. So, it's just basically a stamp saying, boom, seal of approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't get any extra money from it. Like nothing.
Okay.
So.
And I think you had one more question for me.
Oh, yeah. So, since you already mentioned them, has your boyfriend felt some type of way with our dynamic?
No. I'll say there's just one funny story where Triggs, as you guys have heard, he travels a lot. So he had to do pre-op. He missed his pre-op on Friday, and he had to do pre-op on a Sunday, but his flight got super delayed, and so he wasn't landing until like 9:30 p.m. And so I'm over here telling my boyfriend, I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm gonna do pre-op at like 9:30 tonight. He's like, pre-op? 9:30? Woohoo! I'm I'm like, Triggs. I'm like, Gabby's gonna be there. He's like, Gabby. And at this point, he didn't even meet. He's like, nah. I don't know what's going on there, but it's all jokes. At the end of the day,
because that was the night I met him.
That
right?
was the night.
Oh, he pulled up. He pulled up.
No, but he didn't want to. I was like, you should just come with us. Like, nobody's gonna be there. It doesn't matter. You can just like sit down in my office or whatever. So yeah, that was actually the night Triggs met Wesley, and they've gone on a little Rolls Royce stroll since then.
Yeah, man, we kick it. Yeah, I be trying to get him outside, but Amber won't let me take him. So
that's a lie. He's lying.
saying,
Take him. I wish you would.
So mean.
But yeah, no. I feel like not really any jealousy. He has seen me texting Triggs 5 a.m., 8 p.m., Saturday night, random thing that I see, memes, everything. So it's kind of you have to kind of understand a person's dynamic with their doctor when you work this close and this many days of the week.
The only time I don't want to hear from Amber is when I finally leave Vixen at the end of the day and my WhatsApp goes off with all these patient pictures to review and these labs to review. What time do you want to start? I'm like, yo, I was just there, Amber, like literally 5 minutes ago.
Not my
like,
fault.
boom, 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 boom.
Not my fault.
And she's like, the sellers need to know.
Deal with it.
I'm like, oh, okay, man, whatever. But anyway, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to work with you. You are the best. This is my right-hand woman. Nothing gets to me without going through Amber. Like, you talk to you talk to Amber. Amber, you talk to me. You know,
literally.
Like classic Denzel line from American Gangster. Nobody talks to me but Amber.
Literally. So true. Like,
except for Gloria. But Gloria's not on camera right now. But she's here.
Gloria's our social media manager.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry, Wes, that she's here so late because we are running a little bit behind schedule, but we got it together. And, you know, it's all good.
Disregard.
But anyway, thank you for being on Triggs Table Talk. Hopefully you guys learned something great, not mostly about my personal life, but how to get on the schedule and, you know, what to expect from a time frame standpoint of hearing from the coordinators and things like that. We really do put your health in highest regard. Like, that's first and foremost for me. Like, I don't need the money. I don't want the money. So, well, you know, I want the money, but we're not gonna put your health above anything. So that is number one for me. And so, you know, make sure you're in good health. Be honest with me, because even if I can't do your surgery, I have no problems with giving you recommendations or my thought process on what you should do next. And there's a slew of patients that I've been able to talk to like that, and they can confirm that for you. So have a good evening. Come lay on my table or come talk to my table with me. So let me not do that. Cut that out. Have a good evening till the next episode. Our next episode, we're going to have a special patient that's coming in. She's going to be my first patient interview. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys. Like, click, subscribe, and share. And welcome to Triggs Table Talks.